Damage from last weekend's flash flood in Cache Creek, BC is still being assessed. Saturday's storm dumped more than 30 millimeters of rain on the community in less than an hour. So there is a lot of damage. And today, Premier Christy Clark is getting a first-hand look, surveying the damage and meeting with affected residents. Premier Clark joins me now live from Cache Creek. Premier Clark, how would you characterize the situation? How would you describe it?
I don't think there's a better word than unbelievable. We are in the middle of a desert. Nothing like this has happened in anyone's memory in this community. They got 10 inches of rain all year last year, and they got 10 inches of rain in 2 hours on Saturday. It has been a completely unexpected, almost unbelievable event. The community's coming together around it, but it's certainly seen some huge impacts in the community.
Yeah, what are you standing in front of there?
I'm standing in front of a water flow from just the water that's come down the hills, carved its way through the town, over the roads, carved off the corners of some roads and filled up entire basements. They found freezers at the end of some of these debris pools. Light standards have been buried, and this is one of the water courses behind me that was created by the incredible flow of nature here.
Okay, has anyone been injured in this?
No, amazingly, no one was seriously injured. I was talking to a gentleman whose home just was narrowly missed by the flow. Out on the street in front of him, there was a car with a woman and her daughter in it, trapped underneath the flowing, as in some cases the water flowed right over the roof of the car. Wisely, they stayed in the car and they were safe. I mean, I think, most people here will have a story or two like that. It's really a miracle. Okay. A miracle.
What can the province do for the people of Cache Creek who suffered such incredible damage, the damage that you've just described?
We have two programs. One is long-term, it's disaster financial assistance. So what we do is, we pool, it's taxpayers' money from across the province, and we support essential, people's homes and cars and farms, businesses, up to 80% of the cost of replacing anything that was uninsured. So that's up to $300,000. And then we also have immediate assistance too for folks. Your home's uninhabitable, have to stay in a motel, need food. We are supporting people for their immediate needs through that as well. I mean, the amazing thing is, though, the folks who own the pizza shop, they've been evacuated. They're living at the motel. They can't go home. They're still going to work every day. That is Cache Creek.
Okay. So what about the uninsured? So the uninsured are taken care of in the short term. So if people are listening now, how do they access the money, and how do they access the roof over their heads if they need it?
Well, tonight there's another town hall. All of the government officials who can answer those questions will be there to talk to people. People make an individual application, and that's happening today at City Hall. I think almost all of it is for the emergency individual social assistance. But over time, as people assess the full damage that they see, they'll make an application for the up to $300,000 in disaster assistance that we provide. So those questions will all be answered tonight. And again, we deal with it on a case-by-case basis. We err on the side of compassion. We want to be there to support people for all of the essentials that they've lost that aren't insured or insurable. What
do you think the biggest challenge is going to be for the people there?
I think the biggest challenge is going to be the cleanup you see behind me, just making sure that everything's back in working order. Some people's basements are full to the brim. People have lost their garages, they've lost their freezers. I mean, it's some sides of some roads will have to be closed down. All of those range of things. But as someone on City Council said to me today, all of the little issues that we argue about are forgotten as the community comes together, and you really see what British Columbia is made of, because this is a resilient community and people are all lending a hand. It's that part of this story is an incredible thing to watch.
Yeah, one more question for you. Is there any way to prevent something like this from happening again?
It's hard to say. No one expected this. This is an event that has never happened to anybody's knowledge here in Cache Creek. As I said, it's a desert, and it got as much rain in 2 hours as it did in all of last year. So, the culverts, the folks are saying, were already people said, overbuilt and couldn't handle it. So I don't know. That's one of the things that we're going to have to examine. As we think about adaptability to climate change is happening, and it has an impact on weather. We need to be thinking about that all across the country and across the world. So I don't have an immediate answer for that, but I can tell you, weather events are getting a lot more common, and unless we do something to address climate change as a country and around the world, these things are going to be problems that we're dealing with more and more.
Yeah, through the long term, but also in the short term, building up the infrastructure to deal with these unexpected weather events.
That's true. I mean, we are, and you know, we build our roads and our schools and our hospitals and our public infrastructure to a very, very high standard, which is why there hasn't been much infrastructure damage here. But you know, I guess from a homeowner's perspective, you don't want the government to come in and make it so expensive to build your home because they're building it for an event that, a weather event that has never happened and no one expects ever will happen. So we need to find that balance in here, and we're always looking back, examining what happened, thinking about whether or not there are things that we could have done better, and then trying to change as a result of what we've learned.
All right, well, I'll let you get on your way. British Columbia Premier Christy Clark joining me live from Cache Creek. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.